Hi, welcome to my space and the internet. My name is Sonali. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm going to share all the books I finished reading in the month of June for a month that has been so challenging with all the packing, unboxing, decluttering, downsizing, decorating, and whatnot. I'm quite surprised by my reading streak. I mean, I did not know that how much I have read until I listed them all down. It's not bad. Now, since I've done a review of each of these books, hence I'll be sharing my cursory thoughts of the books I read in June. In this video, I'll try to cover mostly how the book challenged my thoughts or contributed in it, also who I think should find the book. So let's get into it. Let's play with the books, shall we? I have the books ready and the notes ready with me. Let's get into it. First is Independent People by Halldór Laxness. This took me quite some time to finish it and to comprehend it, honestly. If you followed me for a long time, you would know that I read this as if I'm finishing my thesis. The story in this is set in 20th century. An independent crafter who, after 18 years of working hard, has managed to save some and buy a land where he wants to raise his flock, sing song, write poetry, and just wants to live life and be left alone. Now, at first, it seemed to me quite, exaggerating of rural life in Iceland and was like hitting a plateau for me. But what I did not realize was this was all setting up for, kind of understanding who the protagonist is. The landscapes, the primary occupation of that part of Iceland, the myths, the legends, the sentiment of people in there, all was leading up to the entry of the main character, Chatur of Summer Houses. Now, the writing seemed pretty complex to me, but never dull or basic. Complex is because it challenged my thoughts in terms of comprehending the challenging ideas that the main character, had in terms of his view of the world. As you follow his story, you will laugh with him, feel despair, and be mad at him. Now, read it at your own risk. Would say, though, it is worth your time. Finishing reading this, I really felt like I've accomplished a huge task. Decline and Fall by Evelyn Waugh. Now, this has to be the most random pick, the most random read of the year, is because this was not in my radar to be read. This was not something that I wanted to read. Now, something I do when I go to buy books. First is I rush to the sections. I have my TBR list ready with me and I pick those books. But I also leave some space to explore, to discover some books that I feel like I might like it or I might want to explore. So how I usually go about is I pick a random book from a genre that I never go to usually, and I would pick that book, read the blurb, read the cover, and if I'm feeling I'm leaning towards it or gravitating towards it, I will go and pick that book up. That's what happened with this one. I read the cover, the blurb, and I was sold. With this one, don't expect a plot of grand scale storyline, but yeah, there are multiple adventurous twists the author has inserted in this brilliantly between the covers to keep the readers on their toes, I feel. It explores love, treachery, satirical social dissections, the classes, the stigmas. Super old English. It's a perfect read in summertime, absolute delight for someone who wants to read something light, great paced, decent much plot twists. And also, I feel like someone who wants to up his or her game for vocabulary and phrases, the English ones. Go for it. Now, next is We Should All Be Feminist. This is I was not able to find that book. I don't know in which box it is tucked in, but it's a very slim book. It's under 50 pages, super direct and packed with sarcastic humor. I read it in 2 hours while my kiddo was playing around. Also, at times I was also playing. You can read it in for sure in an hour. It's a modified version of the TED Talk Adichie delivered, the author, delivered in 2012 about feminism. Now, her speech and this book has the same purpose. That is to make the world fairer. She hopes so, and so do I. With all the ungodly, ghastly news of Rajasthan case that has been popping up on my feed recently, it reminds me of the line from the book that is, we raise our daughters differently, but we must raise our sons also differently. I mean, do yourself a favor, this world a favor, make it better for everyone. Go find this book. Is The Mother of All Questions. I read it in Kindle. Again, I was not able to find it. Funny how found this book is randomly while waiting for my hair appointment. I was browsing through the series of books on my Kindle, like which ones I can read, which is short, and this appeared like out of random, and it happened to be on my TBR for 2 years. It almost struck me at that moment, and I'd forgotten about it until I saw the name up of the same author. I'd read the book Men Explain Things to Me, which I recalled vividly that I loved it. That striking language. It was mind blowing, the perspectives, everything. So, this book is a follow up to Rebecca Solnit's, the author, national bestseller, Men Explain Things to Me. Her commanding writing style is just as striking here. It enlightens you and kind of inspires you to take ownership of your story. It's written in the format of essay collections by leveraging historical events. She illuminates how a woman's story is sidelined and how her silence carries more meaning. Each instance quietly justified by an unspoken just so. Just so you're a woman, you're supposed to do this. Just so you're a woman, you're supposed to wear that, be so and so, behave in such a manner. And the list goes on. My favorite essays where the silence is broken and men explain Lolita to me. Like, I found it absolutely remarkable how Sonnet unabashedly dissects the varying meanings of silence, drawing a clear distinction between being quiet and being silenced, tracing how that distinction leads to a kind of carnage, a woman's story told not by her but by someone else. Or no, not told at all. So you can almost feel the power radiating off the page as a woman reader, following her interpretations and investigations, her use of language, as a scalper cutting through the real events, real suffering, and stories, both reported and buried deep in this canonical societal structure. Of course, these are selected few and the propaganda behind to show the bleaker side of all. But then, how will you explain the things that is not fictional? It's real. The very act of violence. How can you tweak those numbers? It was insightful for me to understand these kind of perspectives from another sort of angle, challenging viewpoints on consent, power dynamics, voice, and representation. This is the book I would recommend to all the people in my circle to read. It's mandatory, vital. It kinds of opens up your mind, you know, you broaden your horizons into big buzzwords that we keep reading and listening to in a daily life. Now, this one I would say it's a fun book. This is a manifesto for us all under 200 pages. I mean, wow. Now, with everyone going about telling you how to, be a certain way, to do so and so, to reclaim your attention, saying how AI can do all your functional routine tasks, but cannot mimic your creativity. But no one says how to touch base with your own creativity, right? And all the tips and hacks, I don't know. For me, it never works the same manner, the way I see it on video. You can read this an hour and feel inspired. I mean, I vividly recollect that I read one page and I was like writing down notes. Like there were so many ideas and tips in it in one page. Yeah, so go and read it and you'll feel motivated. My one advice with this is to keep it accessible because creativity is something it's like it comes and goes, right? You have to willfully consciously choose to keep working on it. And there will be dull days. Trust me, there will be. When you would not feel motivated, keep it in your reach just so, especially for those days when you would not feel a thing. It's just right in front of you. You just reach it, open it, read one page, and you feel rejuvenated because I felt so. And I still keep it in front of me. I mean, you can find it in my living room, right on my TV unit. So, yeah. So, that's all the books I read in the month of June. Thank you for watching. Happy reading and exploring. See you in the next. Bye bye.